Hello, greetings to my light workers and my black sheep. I should say, and or my black sheep, whichever you prefer. Growing up, I always went by black sheep until I learned what a light worker was later in life. So whatever you're comfortable with. Please subscribe. And I do have another channel that I created by accident, but I don't use it. I think it has like 5 subscribers. Don't worry about that channel. I'm asking you to please go to where I have more subscribers. I really want to grow my business. I would like to have an office so that I can see more of you, and I'd actually like to travel around so I can meet all of you and in different states and help as many people as possible. Because one of the things, I'm Janie Daly, by the way, and I am a psychic life coach. I do readings. I'm also a nurse. I have a college degree, so I'm a minister. I have a lot of things, I've done a lot of training in my life, and I have life experience, which I feel that's more valuable than any schools that I've been to. Well, nursing, I had to have a license. That's a little important. But I want to tell you, I was talking to a friend today, and I said, when I started doing this, and happy Halloween. But anyway, ADHD, you guys. But when I started doing this work, I figured, like, I'm seeing that everybody has, like, one person's a medium, another person's an animal psychic, another person helps the police. There's people that do business readings, relationships, healing. And I was like, oh, I guess I have to have an avenue. But I can tell you, no, God has blessed me to, we were talking about it today. I am a one-stop psychic shop. It sounds like like I can see the storefront right now with the sign, right? So I do everything. I don't do astrology charts. Now, the charts that I do, they're not 20 pages and whatever. It's a basic, and it gives you basic information about yourself, right down to the stone that is good for you. But it is based on your birth date, your life path number. It's astrology, it's personality, psychology. It's a little bit of everything. They're really accurate and they're really neat. And you guys, they're not that expensive. So I would say to definitely invest in one, because it's not bad at all. I mean, it really isn't. So, and also I should say, put this in here to schedule a reading with me. Please, you can either, if you have my number, send me a text message, or you can contact me on Facebook Messenger, which is Janie Daly. Or you can just send me an email to janiedaly@gmail.com. So, and what else did I want to go to? I'm sorry, I just was interrupted. I could see a phone call and I want to make sure that person's okay. But you guys also be careful. And this is like the mother/nurse speaking. Their allergies are ridiculous. I live by ponds and creeks. You can't even see the water with all the pollen. So, please be careful. Make sure that, you don't bring that in the bed with you. Make sure that you clean yourself, your hands, face, and like even wear hats. Wear a hat. That's my new thing. I wear a hat now because I don't want the pollen in my hair. Or else you have to, if you don't clean your hair, if you don't wash your hair, then you are going to have it all over your pillow when you go to sleep. So, but what's happening is people are getting really bad allergies and, it'll be fine. But then like everything's red, runny. And what happens is then it goes down into the lungs or the chest. And then you have bronchitis and then pneumonia. And, that's happening with a dear friend of mine right now. So definitely keep a check on things. Everybody's always worried about COVID. I'm worried about allergies because it could be serious stuff. But anyway, and going back. So in our readings, we talk about everything. Now, I do celebrity readings. I do. But nobody ever know who I do. Nobody ever know. Because I don't want people like calling me. I don't want like trying to get information, because you're never going to get information from me. Never. So, and even for you guys, you come to me, I'm your vault. If you want to tell people that you came to see me, that's fine. But as far as me, I would never. Confidentiality is huge. So anyway, on that note, and again, we talk about everything. So I'm a medium. I love doing the medium stuff. And I had somebody the other night kind of get a little upset with me because I met both of her grandmoms. The one grandmom is very nice and very civil, and the other one, she was bad. I mean bad, like funny bad. And I was sitting there laughing, and she's like, I'm not understanding. What are you trying to tell me? And I was like, I'm really sorry. It's just she's a really nice lady. So I love that part. I love working with animals. I work with horses. I work with all kinds of animals. And my thing is to help you, okay? And the things that I can tell you, be open with your sixth sense, because now I'm going to get into the Halloween stuff here, okay? Be open with your sixth sense. Your sixth sense, it's a God-given gift like your other five senses. And once you recognize that and start to enhance it and enjoy it and utilize it the way that you should, and to, instead of trying to like, it's like trying to wear dark glasses over your eyes so you don't see the sun, and you miss a lot of beauty because you're wearing the dark glasses over your eyes. Please, it's a God-given gift. I like to call it also your cell phone to God. That's your sixth sense. Has nothing to do with anybody else. All God-given. And I can tell you, I'd be kind of insulted if I gave you such a beautiful gift and you turn around and said that somebody that you're not crazy about or you don't like at all gave it to you. I'd be a little offended. So anyway, on that note, with your sixth sense, and again, by enhancing it, you guys, I compare it to those children, those babies, who they get hearing aids. They can't hear. They were born deaf, and they get the hearing aids in. And then once they hear their parents' voices, the looks on their faces, I always cry when I watch those videos because it's so beautiful. Same with your sixth sense. Absolutely beautiful. So many nice things. Now, are you going to see things that are not the best? Yeah. But I mean, you see things and hear things and say things that aren't always the best. I mean, nothing is perfect. There's bad and good, black and white. Well, and there's gray too. But you know what I'm saying. So, what I'm going to talk about after rambling for 8 minutes is the do's and the don'ts of haunted houses. Okay, so the Warrens. I love the Warrens, love their work, respect their work, but I don't always agree with what they got. Okay, I just don't. I know that hurt people will hurt people. But you know what? When you have somebody that's so hurt, and let's say it's somebody who they have been told over and over, you're never going to heaven. You're never going to heaven. Well, then you add that to their little repertoire of being mean and being hurt, so that when they pass, they don't cross over because they're scared and they don't trust anybody. They're not going to trust anybody. Jesus himself will be right there and say, come on, come with me. And he emanates love. Like, there's no way that you can mistake Jesus for anyone else. But they don't trust. They don't trust. So what do? They're not happy spirits. So they'll do things. If you move into their household, or and new homes are included because the land is the valuable thing, But anyway, so let's say there's a ghost in your home. What you want to do, you treat it the same as you would everything else in your life. Respect, kindness, always, always. To be angry and to start shouting, get out of here, and take in your, incense, white sage, and to take that and around, and imagine you're going, get out, move, I want you out of here. and this smoke is going up their nose, so to speak, you're going to make them angry. And then you're going to get, you know, the beings that Lorraine Warren talks about, that Lorraine and her husband talked about, because they're mad, they're angry. Okay, so you don't want to make somebody angry. I use this because, like I talked to you about the pollen and everything, and not feeling good, because I was feeling not well either because of the allergy situation. So I use this to get like all the negativity, my negativity out, because you know, when you don't feel good, you have a tendency to be, I have a tendency to be a little negative, a little grouchy. I'm not a good patient. So I will use this, and I specifically say, I am using this to clear my negative energy out of here. You know, I want things to be nice. I want everything nice, you know, whatever. I'm not ever going to go around and say, get out now. Because I did sell real estate, and I have seen in my life, I've seen, you know, quite a few, and they're fine. But the biggest thing is kindness, because like I like to, because I have had situations, I don't want to say the man's name because in case somebody, well, I'm not going to say it because it's a common name. I bought a house, and the gentleman who died in that house his name was Mr. Farr. And oh yeah, I could smell the cigarettes when I walked in, and I knew that, and I said, okay, so, and then when I walked into the bedroom, the master bedroom, I was like, okay, so this is where someone died, and this person smoked a lot. And the realtor said, yes, he died from lung cancer, and he died in the house. And it was his house that he had with his wife and his children, you know. So, and then of course they sold the house, and the wife went into assisted living or a facility. But I would never be like, oh, get out, this and that. I'm accustomed to it. I'm accustomed to spirits, and even grouchy spirits, you know, and I feel like God prepared, why not feel? I know God prepared me. God prepared me for, just like he's prepared you, but he prepares us for our journey. You know, we don't come here and just be thrown in and go, good luck, see ya. No, we're prepared and guided all along the way. So never walk alone. And Archangel Michael, especially, phenomenal defender, great personality, but he means business. He'll take care of you. Just call, just say, hey, are you here now? Have my back, or however you want to do it. Love. Doesn't matter how you say things, as long as you say it with love, kindness, respect. Anyway, so with him, I got pregnant, and he knew my favorite flower was lilacs. So when I got pregnant, it was, I was pregnant in the winter. It was very cold. Beginning of the year was very cold. So obviously we don't have lilacs, but he knew it from the season before that lilacs were my favorite. I'd cut them and put them in all the rooms because I had lilac bushes. And if I would get like sad, or, you know, I had gotten sick one time, if I just wasn't feeling well, you know, I'm just uncomfortable, it would be snowing outside, be freezing outside, and I could go up into my bedroom and I would smell lilacs. And I used to get the kids and say to them, hey, you guys, can you come up here for a minute? And every one of those kids will walk in and go, Mom, do you have lilacs? Lilacs aren't growing this time of year. They could all smell it. Let me tell you something funny, though, about Mr. Farr. Mr. Farr was actually very good with my children. He was very good with the kids. Now, when I was a little girl, growing up, if anybody said, what are you afraid of? The thing I'd always say is, I don't like anybody looking at me, watch me when I'm sleeping. And people would always say, well, how do you know they're watching you if you're sleeping? I was like, I don't know. Apparently, I must have been awakened to seeing somebody stare at me, whatever. I don't know. I said, I don't know. I was sleeping. But one night, so my bed is this way, and I had a dresser with a mirror, and the door was over to the left side. So you guys, I wake up in the middle of the night because I must have felt somebody staring at me. And lo and behold, there's Mr. Farr in my mirror, and he's standing in the doorway. So I was like, Mr. Farr, don't do that. Stop doing that. And then he disappeared. But, he was nice. He was nice. But that was his house that apparently he had built and done a lot of work on it. And he liked the kids. And I'm hoping he liked me too. And, my ex-husband. But he was a very nice ghost. Again, if this is somebody, because I have seen spirits, I've seen ghosts that have been hurt and they're angry and they do things that aren't good. But, I'll get into that before I close up. Okay. But anyway, Mr. Farr. There was one night. I go into the ladies' room in the middle of the night because, of course, I am very pregnant by then. And I wasn't going to tell this story, but I'm going to tell the story. It's probably not appropriate, but here goes. So, and pregnant ladies have to go to the bathroom like all hours of the night, all night long. Anyway, so I go into the bathroom and I hear like my ex-husband's suits or clothes moving in the closet. And it was enough to kind of get me awake because I'm like, what's he doing? So I hollered out his name. I was like, are you up? And nothing. I didn't hear anything. But then after that, I heard tap, 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 tap. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be wide awake and not be able to go back to sleep. So I quietly go and I look towards the left at the closet because I'm wondering why are the clothes moving? But then I heard it again. Tap, 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 tap. So I go to the door. Now my door was closed because, we had kids and, it was bedtime. So I opened the door quietly because I was like, what's that? Because it would stop again. It stopped. So I'm standing at the top of the steps because our room was right at the top of the steps, and then you have the hallway for the kids, and then in the bathroom for the main bathroom. But so our room was at the top of the steps. So I was getting ready to say, oh, okay, I don't know where that was. Because I didn't know where the sound was coming from. The closet, I didn't know, So then, just as I was ready to say, nope, I heard it again. Tap, 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 tap. And then in my head, I saw a vision. Clear as day. I went, ooh, I know why he was pointing at the closet. Because that's where I kept my artillery. My artillery? I have to watch what I say. Sorry. But anyway, so I went ahead, got that. And you guys, I had a huge belly. So I was like, oh. So I said to my ex-husband, I think somebody's trying to break into the laundry room. Well, he deep sleeper, so I go down the steps, take a left to go into the den, or like the family room. It was really pretty. It had a fireplace and everything. And then I go straight ahead, and the door there opens to a laundry room. And then that opens to the nice sized backyard. So I go ahead, and I heard it again when I'm in, because I didn't turn any lights on. So I hear again, tap, 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 tap. So I kicked the door open, because it wasn't closed all the way. I kicked it open, and I held my things. Am I allowed to say that? I held my weapon. I was in the process of being robbed anyway, and I had a license, so we're good, right? So I held my weapon, and I was like, can I help you? Because I was really mad, because my kids were sleeping, and it's like, Mama Bear, you're going to hurt my kids. You're doing it at your own risk. And when they saw me, it was two guys. When they saw me, they jumped, because I go, you want to come in? Come on. So they dropped their equipment. They dropped their ID. And yeah. So, but Mr. Farr is the one Because, you know, I'm like, why is he moving? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you hear clothes moving in the closet, right? And this is funny too, because, well, yeah, because, you know, that's where I had my stuff and everything. But, and I wouldn't have been awake. I wouldn't have stayed awake, you know, because you don't, it's cold and you want to get back in bed so that you're not all the way awake. And if he didn't like distract me that way, then, and then showed me a picture, showed me the picture in my head. And yeah, it was somebody, and he was right. So then there's one more story that's kind of funny with Mr. Farr. So we were happy. We, you know, a lot happened, but he always looked after myself and the kids. Always, always. I can't say much for the ex because, I don't know. I mean, we broke up for reasons, obviously, but I don't know. He doesn't really like how he would talk to me and stuff, so he wasn't always nice to him. But, yeah, and we did laugh about it. Sorry. And he knew it though, so it wasn't a secret. Anyway, so on a Sunday, we decided we would play games. We'd play a board game, like Monopoly. We were going to play Monopoly downstairs in the living room. So my oldest daughter wanted to stay upstairs. Now, her and her sister shared a room, and they had bunk beds. And my oldest daughter's bunk bed was the top. My youngest was the bottom, obviously. And so we're all downstairs, and she didn't want to. She goes, no, no, no. So she tells me this part next. Okay, honey, well, I mean, you know, I baked a cake, you know, I got some brownies downstairs too. And come on, it's Sunday and it's family day, come on. She's like, okay, no, maybe later, Mom. I don't feel like it now. Because I think she was like writing in her journal or something, I don't know. She was a preteen, right? And you gotta respect your preteens. She said that she says, and I believe she said this because she used to always say it. She never hesitated. So she's on the bed and she goes, Mr. Farr. And she said she was saying it because she knew everybody else was down a ways in the living room. So she says, Mr. Farr, remember, I've told you this before. We are like the Munster family. She goes, and I'm Marilyn. I'm the normal one. So please, 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 please don't do anything to scare me. Please, please, please. What happens? She's sitting on our bunk bed, right at her back. The wall is backed up to my other son's closet. So if somebody was in there, if like one of us was in there, somebody had to be hiding in the closet, but it was like a scratch down the wall. She would have, well, I heard like screaming, right? So she comes running running down the steps. God love her. She almost fell down the steps. And by then, you know, like I said, I heard her yelling, and I'm at the bottom of the steps, like, what's wrong, honey? What's wrong? And I'm concerned, you know. Mr. Farr was just trying to scare me, and he succeeded. But then she said to me, but first, before I blame him, where is everybody? So she looks in the living room and she sees we are all accounted for. And the kids, she knew too, like her brothers. Well, the one was young. I mean, yeah, the one was young. He was just been born. So he was still really little. Actually, he was 1 by then. Oh my goodness. But the oldest one, you know, he's laying on the floor and it was his turn. It was his role, you know what I mean? So there's no way he would have been upstairs in his closet. There's no way. So anyway, but it was funny because she would always, that was always her thing. I'm Marilyn. Yeah. But on that note, it is fun and, you know, everybody can really coexist. And then I do have talks. I mean, I wasn't so big about it when I was younger. Now I do. Now I talk to him about going home. And now I'm more, before when I was younger, it was just one of my senses. I was aware of it and I knew I was different. I mean, I've always talked to animals and animals follow me around. And for a lot of people, if, you know, they were having problems. And one thing real quick on animals, if you're choosing a pet, let the pet pick you. Or if you're somebody who finds homes for animals, let the pet pick the person. not reversed. The pet should be the picker, not the person. Just wanted to put that in there. Anyway, but you can have bad experiences, because I mentioned the Warrens. They're, like I said, we had some differences. I haven't been exposed to that. I've been blessed, I'm going to say. Or I just see things differently. Because I've looked at some of the cases and because I know when people, you see it in people, you guys, you see it in living people that are not very nice. And they will go to great lengths to like stalk or do whatever. So spirits are capable of that too. There's bad and good in everything in life. Everything. But you don't stop your common sense, which is your sixth sense. You don't block that because of what is going to be possibly bad. Okay? But I do say this. Everybody has a sixth sense, and some people have it more than most. It's very important to have faith. I'm a big science person too, you guys. For those of you that are like, oh, I'm not into all that. I am hugely scientific. Hugely. And I kid you not, even with, because a lot of people have been like when I ask, is it disrespectful? I have God dreams. I have God dreams. Now, I was raised, God was male, so that's how God appears to me, but I've never seen God. I've heard his booming voice. So he taught me something, because I was very, very sick at one time. So he taught me something about a microwave. And I was sitting at an old-time desk. He told me what I was wearing, where I was when I first saw a microwave. And he knows me, like he knows you. He knows you. And if you don't believe, ask for signs. Ask for signs. But anyway, but then I would tease him and I'd be like, that's a little stalkerish. You knew what I was wearing and everything and where I was. And all I got was a ho, 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 like that, right? So he goes ahead and he tells me about their microwave and why it is not good to use. So at the end, he goes, oh, I know, Janie, I know you need proof. Again, didn't see, but I heard him. So I said, thank you. And then I was up. Next morning, I got the proof. My youngest son was making breakfast in a newer microwave that we had, and it started smoking. So I never used a microwave again. And I'm going to tell you, the illness went completely away. And I had several different things for the GI tract that were bad. And they went away. So when I went for to biopsies and stuff, when I went for biopsies and further testing, I woke up to that physician looking at me, staring and saying to me, you know, you're a horrible patient. So you know you don't take your medicines. You don't do anything you're told to do. But everything is gone. Everything's gone. You're healthy. It's pink. It's good. You're good. And he's looking at me like, you know, like, tell me. And I said, because I was still drugged, I said to him, the microwave. I stopped using the microwave, and then I fell back to sleep. So yeah, true story. Very true. Well, everything I tell you is stuff that's happened. But anyway, to get real quick, because it is 28 minutes, and I want to close up on this. It's important to respect, and I say that because you are going to have entities that are going to push you mentally. And they have been known to turn crosses upside down, to wake people up at 333. Don't be afraid. Archangel Michael, you can ask for God, you ask for Jesus, whatever makes you feel good inside. I feel good and safe when I call upon Archangel Michael. Because I even say here, the job I do, Archangel Michael is my head of security. You know? So, you're not alone. But I do ask, find your faith. Because you want to be protected. I say that I'm a Christian, but I mean, I'm a normal person and I'm very scientific. And that's why with the God dreams, he knows that I need proof because I am very scientific. I don't just believe something that somebody tells me. It needs to make sense. So trust me when I tell you, I ask God for signs because if I'm going to teach this stuff, I need to make sure it's not my opinion. because my opinion doesn't count. I like to put out facts, and so you can back this stuff up. Anyway, on that note, I want to thank you for joining me. Happy Halloween. And if you want a reading with me, you can go to Facebook Messenger, Janie Daly, and send me a request. Or you can go to janiedaly@gmail.com. Or if you have my phone number, just send me a text message. And charts, still doing charts. Okay. Also, I'm going to start doing like, that'll be down the road. But on that note, I'm sending to you all many, many, many angel blessings. Much love. And remember, kindness and respect goes a long way. But first, you give that to yourself, and then you do it for others. Good night, and happy Halloween.